Jackie here from Manchester. I wanted to talk about sort of COVID-19 and the impact that's had on sort of universities, and maybe address some of the concerns that maybe prospective students have about starting university this year. It must be such a worry. It's in such uncertain times, isn't it? And there's mixed views out there, like lots of people, I don't want to do a degree online, you know, you've got to pay full year's tuition fees. There's no sort of like discounts in tuition fees. Universities UK have published sort of 9 guiding principles that all universities should be considering. So I wanted to just go through what those entailed basically. So there's talk of sort of academic bubbles, there's sort of like a blended approach to learning. So there will be some sort of teaching face to face, and a lot of it will be online. So yeah, let's have a look at the 9 principles that are sort of have been published. Okay, so the first one is sort of health and safety basically, which is great, and it's number 1. So the well-being of students, staff, visitors and the wider community. So that kind of covers things like if there's a second spike, reacting quickly to sort of like government sort of guidance, things like that. So there will be sort of policies, procedures, lots of information online. It's about keeping people safe, making people aware of the NHS sort of services and facilities in and around your university, raising awareness, early warning systems being put in place. What if there is sort of an outbreak on your university? So there should be lots of things like that and guidance in place. Lots of risk assessments being done and sort of looking at sort of vulnerable groups as well. So yeah, number 1 is like health and safety and the well-being of students, staff, visitors and the wider community. Number 2 talks about the layout and infrastructure. So that covers sort of things like social distancing. Like usually if there was 120 people in a lecture hall, with the social distancing rules the way they are, with this 2 metre or 1 metre, whatever it may be, when you come to go there, it will obviously reduce the amount of people that you can get into that lecture hall, sort of like down to maybe 20 people. So it covers things like lectures, public spaces, labs, shops, libraries, wearing a mask, sort of expect lots of signage around, one-way systems, maybe doors being opened, things like that. Lots of ventilation, class sizes. So that's what that one talks about. So number 2 is layout and infrastructure. Okay, so number 3, wow, this is major, this is the big one. It's about the teaching, sort of. They're going to be reviewing all the courses. Assessments are going to be reviewed. It's got to be flexible, but the quality has got to be there, obviously. They can't just sort of be bunging lectures online. You're paying £9,250. There's lots of talk of sort of like learning bubbles and blended approach. So I think have faith. I think the quality is going to be there. It's quality assured, things like that. I think universities are going to have in place schemes for digital poverty, I think is the term. So supporting students that are disadvantaged, that maybe don't have a great learning space at home or don't have equipment. So do seek advice on that. That any teaching that is delivered face to face is done so safely. Like I said, they're going to be looking at home assessments. What happens if you're sharing equipment? There's going to be lots of staff training and support. They can't mislead you basically. They have to have clear communication systems in place and talk about the delivery, assessment and the quality. So that's number 3. Number 4 is regular reviews, making sure that everyone's well communicated. There'll be lots of steering groups and regular meetings, probably with student unions, students and key people within the university. So it's going to be reviewed quite a lot. It'll be looking at sort of mental health, what support's in place and things like that. So this is good. So number 4 is sort of like, yeah, regular reviews. Okay, so number 5 is about international students, welcoming them, making sure that there is support in place if they arrive in the UK and they've got to self-isolate, making sure that they've got accommodation, facilities, that they're not disadvantaged. Perhaps they might incur sort of online teaching problems and things like that. So lots and lots of support should be in place for international students. Number 6 is about hygiene and cleaning. So expect lots of hygiene stations, lots of signs and hand sanitizer. All the university's sort of cleaning protocols will be reviewed. So all that's going to be looked at. Expect sort of screens up, maybe in the library there might be sort of like screens and things like that. Having to wear a mask, hygiene and cleaning, number 6. Number 7 talks about research being done safely. This sort of like looks at labs, things like that, shared equipment. There's going to be lots of risk assessments being done and lots of safety sort of things in place for that. There's going to be lots of training and hopefully lots of guidance, but lots of risk assessments so that research can continue within the universities. Number 8 is about engaging students and staff regular, publishing key information, good communication, that everything's sort of to hand, that the information's there, lots of training. So this is a good one, just really good communication you can expect. And number 9 is sort of like the university sort of engaging with the community basically. So like transport, police, is there a system if there is a second outbreak or a second spike, and just basically liaising and working closely with the wider community. That was the principles and considerations emerging from lockdown. It was published in June 2020 from Universities UK. Go for it. Hopefully, it's affecting everyone. You just got to go with it. If you've made that decision, you're paying full fees, and hopefully the universities will follow all these principles and won't let you down, and you'll have a really good experience, albeit different. But I think, it's affecting the whole world, and there's not much you can do about it. You've just got to kind of go with it, I think. All right, thanks for watching. Thank you. Bye.